good morning, nurses. Good morning, top-notchers. Welcome to CBRC, another ultimate learning experience. I am Ma'am Andeline Noble Hiza, a registered nurse, a licensed professional teacher with the master's degree of nursing, major in nursing management and administration, with a degree of Doctor of Philosophy, major in peace and development. This afternoon, we're going to talk about psychotic and non-psychotic disorders. And to start, let's start with your psychotic disorders. Now, of all the psychotic disorders, wala nyo, sino daw doon ang pinaka-popular sa lahat? And you're correct, it is schizophrenia. And let's start with schizophrenia. All right, now, did you know that majority of our patients confined at the National Center for Mental Health are schizophrenics? Now, the term schizophrenia was formerly known as dementia precox. It was formerly known as dementia precox, and according to Emil Kraepelin, dementia precox before was incurable. Delay. It was formerly known as dementia precox, and according to Emil Kraepelin. Sige. Paano? Tanggalin ko to. Paano? All right, let's go back. According to Emil Kraepelin, dementia precox before was incurable. That once you have this, you will live with it and you will die with it. Now I'll tell you a brief history of psychiatric nursing. Did you know that during the Middle Ages, if an individual manifests psychotic behavior, it was believed that it was something to do with demons, witchcrafts, bad spirits, etc., etc. And since this was believed to be incurable, the only way for these people to be helped was to kill them alive. Yes, to kill them alive. Stone them to death, burn them, or bury them alive. And barely they were given food, water, ventilation, or even sunlight. And worst part of all, they were hit, bitten, slapped, kicked, whipped, name it. My God, hindi nga pinatay, halos patayin din. But not until one of the doctors during those times became a patient himself. And the rest is history. So dito na nangyari yung the period of enlightenment na nangyari. Now, and because of the intense study and curiosity of Eugene Bleuler, pinag-aralan niya daw po itong mabuti. At napatunayan niya na yung sinasabing dementia precox na incurable ay curable na. That is why the term dementia precox was later on changed to schizophrenia in 1947. Now, sabi natin noon ng pag-manage nila ng schizophrenia is yun, halos torturein, halos patayin na. Kaya lang sabi ng mga tao nung araw, hey, wag naman natin silang patayin. After all, tao pa rin sila. Alright, na-modify yung management. So instead, they chain them up, they lock them in dungeons, beaten, whipped, kicked, hindi pinapakain, halos walang physiological needs. Diba? Halos patayin din. That's the time na binago yung management, kaya nagkaroon na ng period of enlightenment. At sabi po ni Eugene Bleuler, since this is already considered as curable or treatable, kaya doon na nag-start yung cut. Sorry po. I'm sorry about that. Nagkaroon tayong technical problems. Anyways, Eugene Bleuler, sinabi niya, so siya ngayon ang napatunayan niya na yung sinasabing dementia precox na incurable ay curable na ngayon. Kaya naging schizophrenia na siya. Ngayon, after that happens, common misconception about schizophrenia is that some people say it is the splitting of personality. Well, actually, it's not. Because if you have split personality, then you do not have this. Instead, you have dissociative identity disorder, or it was formerly known as multiple personality disorder. Because the term schizophrenia came from a Greek word schizin. It means split, and phren means mind. So therefore, schizophrenia is the splitting of the mind. Actually, it was Eugene Bleuler who classified mental disorders, but now we call it DSM. Yes, and si Eugene Bleuler din po ang nagsabi na dapat ihiwalay daw po natin yung mga taong may physical illness sa mga may mental disorders. That is why doon na nagkaroon ng start ng foundation ng asylums. But now we call it DSM. Actually, another definition of schizophrenia, and I want you to watch out for the 4 key words. Schizophrenia is the impairment, perception, and expression of reality. Impairment meaning nasira. Perception, pananaw. So once na nasira ang iyong pananaw, then how would you express reality? So definitely, sira din siya. Actually, up to now, there is no known specific reason why people have this kind of disorder. Walang single cause na makakapagsabi kung bakit nagkakaroon daw ng schizophrenia ang isang tao. But then again, of course, there are some theories, and I'll give you several of this. The first theory causing schizophrenia daw is your genetic theory. Naniniwala ka ba na pwede mong mamana ang sakit na ito? It has something to do with the genes. Yes, and according to theories, the ability to maintain a healthy functioning in life is in part due to one's genes. The way you laugh, the way you talk, the way you walk, the way you study, even the color of your eyes, the shape of your face, everything about you. Pwedeng mamana yan. Even your disorders, even your behaviors. The question is, paano ang explanation ng genetic theory? Ganito yan. If one of your parents has schizophrenia, then you have 40% chances of having this as well. 40%. Yes, it's 40%. But wait, there's more. If you have an identical twin na may schizophrenia, then you have 15%. And that is genetic theory. Another theory is your environmental or social theory. Naniniwala ka ba na yung environment mo, yung paligid mo, o yung mga tao sa paligid mo ay maaaring maging dahilan para masiraan tayo ng ulo? Yes. At ang pinakamagandang example nito, yung culture shock. Yes, it is culture shock. Meaning to say, may nakita kang isang activity or ritual o kaganapan na ginagawa ng isang grupo ng tao na kakaiba sa paniniwala at nakasanayan at ng kultura mo. Pag hindi natin nakayanan ng powers, pwedeng yan ang maging dahilan para magkaroon tayo ng schizophrenia. And that is environmental or social theory. Another is neurostructural or biochemical theory. It has something to do with our neurotransmitters or our brain chemicals. We all very know na lahat tayo may different neurotransmitters in our brains right now. And each neurotransmitter is responsible for everything that we think of, everything that we feel, everything that we do, everything in us. And there's this one specific neurotransmitter responsible for learning and intellect, which controls our thoughts, and that is dopamine. Kaya ang taong may schizophrenia, ang daming dopamine. So, paano natin ipapaliwanag to sa theory nito? Ganito yon. Alam natin na lahat ng sobra ay hindi maganda ang magiging resulta. So what happens? Excessive dopamine in the brain bombards the brain. And if the brain is bombarded with too much dopamine, it will ruin the information screening or capacity or circuitry of that brain. Well, it's just like trying to separate the gata from the nyog. Sira yung pangsala mo. So, ang mangyayari, halo-halo na siya. So, once na nasira ang ating screening capacity because of the too much dopamine, that will be the time that we will draw faulty conclusions, misinterpretations, illusions, hallucinations, and all other bizarre thinking and behavior. And that is your neurostructural or biochemical theory. Now, another theory is your psychodynamic theory or experiential theory. Naniniwala ka ba na yung mga past experiences mo, even your childhood days, ay maaaring maging dahilan para masiraan daw ng ulo ang isang tao? Especially those unresolved conflicts. Deep-seated childhood experiences na almost negative lahat. Yes, Pwedeng maging dahilan daw yan. Especially if you are constantly exposed to double bind situation. And what is a double bind situation? Well, it's a situation wherein you do not have a choice. It's a lose-lose situation. Para bang lahat ng ginawa mo mali. Pag ginawa mo to mali. Pag hindi mo ginawa, palpak. So wala ka nang ginawang tama. Bata ka palang ganun na nararamdaman mo. And that can cause schizophrenia. I'll give you one example. Nagpunta sa mall si Mommy kasama yung anak niyang toddler. Nagpabili ng balloon. Sabi ni Mami, bibili tayo niyan sa sweldo ng tatay mo. Sabi ng bata, hindi po ako naniniwala sa inyo. Dahil wala naman trabaho ang tatay ko. It's a double bind. Ngayon, sa kagustuhan ng bata na magkaroon ng balloon, nag-throw ng temper tantrums, umiyak, anong ginawa ni nanay? Kinurot yung bata. Umiyak yun naman yung bata. Pag iyak ng bata, sabi ng nanay, huwag kang umiyak, nakakahiya dito. Eh, anong gusto mong sabihin ng bata? Nanay, ang sakit-sakit naman po ng kurot ninyo. Yahoo! It's a double bind, my God. Diba? And that can cause schizophrenia. Do you understand? Yes. Now, since Dr. Eugene Buller identified the term schizophrenia, he also gave us the 4 A's of schizophrenia. And the first one is ambivalence. You have ambivalence if you have two strong contradicting emotions or opposing emotions. Gustong-gusto mo, pero ayaw mong gawin. Ayaw na ayaw mo, pero panay mong ginagawa. Antok na antok ka na, ayaw mo matulog. Gutom na gutom ka na, ayaw mo kumain. Or gusto mo nang mag-move on, ayaw mo namang i-let go. That's ambivalence. Another is autistic thinking. You have autistic thinking if you cannot relate to others and to your environment. Why? Because you're living in your own world. Can you just imagine? Listen to this. How do people with schizophrenia think? Parang may autism, but not automatically or necessarily autistic na sila. Can you just imagine? Schizo na, autistic pa. Ano pag hinihintay mo? Paslangin mo na. Diba? Biro lang yon. Pangatlo is associative looseness. You have associative looseness if you cannot think logically. No logical thinking, no common sense, walang ano sinasabi. From the word loose, ito yung maluwag. Meaning to say, you cannot associate one word with the other or one situation from another. Sige, let's have a drill. Magbibigay ako ng isang word and you give me another word which is associated with that word. Alright? Are you ready? Say, for example, give me one word associated with ball pen. Pencil. Notebook. Bag. Shoes. How about water? How about Disneyland? Did you say Mickey Mouse? Of course. I remember I was in one of the provinces during my lectures. I asked one of the students, give me one word associated with chocolate. And one student said, Ma'am, Skechers. And everybody was laughing. Alam ko ibig niya sabihin. What he was trying to say was sneakers, but instead of sneakers, he said Skechers. You see, iba yung nasa isip, iba yung lumabas. Nakakatakot yan, mga beshi. All right. And the last one is your affective disturbance. Now, you have affective disturbance if you cannot respond appropriately Because of the word affect. Affect refers to your responses. So malalaman mo ng taong may schizophrenia, kumusta yung responses niyan? Kumusta yung mga reaction niyan? Disturbed. Actually, there are 3 kinds of affective disturbances. One is your inappropriate affect. Meaning, there is disharmony between the external stimuli and your responses. Hindi tugma yung reaksyon mo o sagot mo sa isang sitwasyon. Halimbawa, nagtatawanan lahat, mag-isa ka umiiyak. Or pwedeng lahat nag-iiyakan, mag-isa ka tumatawa. Di ba ang saya-saya mo? Kakaiba ka, te. So we have inappropriate affect. Another is flat. Flat or NR. What is NR? No response. Walang reaksyon. Nakaganon lang. And the last one is blunt. Hindi nakita. So, ulitin natin. There are 3 kinds of affective disturbance. The first one is your inappropriate affect. Next is flat. And the last, flat or NR. Or blunt. Or DR. Ano yung DR? Delayed reaction. So baga nagbumitaw ka ng isang joke or isang punchline, tapos ang tagal, mga 30 minutes bago tumawa. O di ba ang saya-saya naman mag-isang tumawa mag-isa. So that is blunt affect. Do you understand? All right, let's move on to the symptoms of schizophrenia. Actually, schizophrenia is categorized into 2 symptoms, 2 groups of symptoms, positive and negative. Let's start with the identification of the positive symptoms first. Now, when you say positive, according to the book of Sheila Videbeck, this is known as hard symptoms. Yes, hard symptoms. According to other books, this is also known as your additional symptoms, since this is positive. By the way, your positive symptoms reflect better prognosis than the negative ones. Ang tanong ko ganito, bakit tinawag siyang positive? Ganito Sa military, pag sinabi nating positive, ano to? Meron or wala? Meron. Yes or no? Yes. So, ibig sabihin, kaya siya tinawag na positive symptoms kasi ito, yung mga symptoms na meron yung isang tao, pero dapat wala. Kaya pag nakita mo, uy, positive, ganun. So, ano-ano yung mga positive symptoms? Number 1, they have excessive functioning. Excessive functioning. Tanong ko sa inyo, dapat ba nagfa-function ng isang tao? Yes. Dapat ba sobra-sobra? Hindi. That becomes positive. Another is that they have hostility and aggression. Hostility and aggression. Agresibo sila pero mailap. Next, they have excitement and agitation. Excited yung mga yan, kaya ang lilikot. Pero maligalig sila. So, positive yan. Another is delusion. What is a delusion? Delusions are false beliefs. Delusions are false beliefs. Actually, there are a lot of delusions na meron tayo. But when you say schizophrenia, dalawa po ang pinaka-common na delusion sa kanila. Number 1, delusion of grandeur. Delusion of grandeur, meaning you believe that is, you have this omnipotent power or ability that is impossible to happen. Or you believe that you are very important and needed by a lot of people. Example, I can rule the world. And I am the new Miss World. See? At ako pinakamagandang hayop sa Jurassic Park. And I can count your hair. So that is delusion of grandeur. Another is delusion of persecution. Delusion of persecution. You have persecutory delusion if you believe, again, you believe that you are the object of environmental attention. Naniniwala ka na lahat ng tao nakatingin sa'yo, pinag-uusapan ka, pinagtatawanan ka, pinagbubulungan ka, naniniwala ka na lahat ng tao na nasa paligid mo, sasaktan ka, ikukulong ka, papatayin ka, o kung ano mang gagawin sa'yo. Kaya pag, praning na praning kaya, pag ang isang tao nakita mong ganyan, oy, di ba positive? Alright. Another is this. They have bizarre dressing. Kakaiba sila manamit. Paano yun? Pwedeng naglalakad sa kalsada na walang damit. Or pwedeng isa lang ang damit. Necktie lang. Di ba? Kasi JS prom daw niya. Or pwedeng lahat ng basura sa kalsada na nakita niya, ginawa niyang damit. Positive yan. Next, they have pressured speech. Pressured speech meaning, nagsasalita, mabilis, mamadali, malakas, faluting, pampiwus, pa-flight of ideas, basta nagsasalita, positive yan. Sobra-sobra pa nga eh. They also have anger and violence sometimes, at sila yung may suicidal tendencies. So those are the positive symptoms. Alright, let's move on to the negative symptoms. Ready? Alright. Ano ba yung mga symptoms na negative? Ganito yon. Kung si positive ay hard, what do you think negative would be? Of course, it's soft. Kung si positive ay better prognosis, ano si negative? Poorer prognosis. Sa military, pag sinabing negative, ano to? Meron or wala? Wala. Yes or no? No. So therefore, kaya siya tinawag na negative kasi ito yung mga symptoms na wala yung isang taong ito, pero dapat meron siya. Kaya tinawag na negative. Alright. Ano-ano ba yung mga negative symptoms? Let me just erase the board first. When you say negative, wala, hindi. So therefore, it is a big no. Are you ready? Alright. Now, ano-ano yung mga yon? Balikan natin. Si positive, anong klaseng functioning meron sila? Excessive functioning. Kung negative, meaning no functioning. Functioning. Hindi sila nagfa-function. Kaya nga negative eh. Wala. Bakit hindi nagfa-function? Because of anerhiya. So what is anerhiya? Walang energy. Kaya hindi sila nagfa-function. What else? They also have anhedonia. Anhedonia is, ano yon? Walang pleasure or interest. Hindi natutuwa, hindi nag-enjoy, hindi nasasarapan. Another is avolition. Meaning, wala silang motivation. Parang, sinabi mo na lahat, sige, ganito, ganyan. Uy, bumangon ka na, anong oras ka? Hindi pa rin babangon. Wag mo iyakan niya, hindi lang siya ang jowa, pwedeng maging jowa, marami ba? There are a lot of fish in the ocean. Ayaw pa rin. Uy, alam mo ba, konting panahon na lang, board exam na, kaya pagpasok na tayo. Hindi pa rin. So, walang motivation na kahit anong pang-encourage mo sa kanya, walang willingness and interest na bagay na bagay. What else? They also have apathy. Meaning, wala silang emotions or reaction. What else? Meron din silang, asocial. Meaning, asocial, hindi sila social. Ano sila? Ideologues? Hindi. Meaning to say, wala silang communication. They also have alogia. Kung si positive ay may pressured speech, then sa negative, walang speech or walang, asocial is lack of relationships. I'm sorry about that. And alohia meaning wala silang communication kasi hindi sila nagsasalita, so walang speech. What else? They also have, wala din silang eye contact. What else? Wala din silang logical thinking. Walang common sense. And lastly, isipin mo, logical thinking nga, wala. Kumustahin mo naman ang abstract. So, wala din silang abstract thinking. So, ano napansin nyo sa negative? Lahat ng may mga lahat ng mga wala that is negative. Do you understand? And that is your symptoms of schizophrenia. Let's move on to the different subtypes of schizophrenia. Now, let's start with one of the most common subtypes of schizophrenia is your paranoid schizophrenia. Yes, paranoid. So, pag sinabing paranoid, ano ba yung mga characteristics ni praning? Number one, ano sila? They are very suspicious. Yes. And their suspicion applies to all, even to themselves. Yes, even to themselves. A lot of people think, pag sinabing schizophrenia, nananakit agad dyan. Hindi naman po talaga lahat. Because based on researches, people with schizophrenia do not hurt other people. They usually hurt themselves. Yes. Pero wag mo lang silang bigyan ng reason or i-trigger para saktan kanila. So meron silang yung una? Suspiciousness. What else? They also have hostility. Siyempre, pag praning, mailap, di ba? Hostility. They also have delusions. And they also have hallucinations. Hallucinations are false sensory perception. False sensory perception. Anything that has something to do with your senses without external stimuli, that is hallucination. There are 5 kinds of hallucination. Ayan, ano ba yung mga senses natin? Auditory, visual, olfactory, gustatory, and tactile hallucination. Of all those 5 senses, or all 5 kinds of types of hallucination, ang pinaka-common is auditory hallucination. And we have to remember, once na nakita mo yung pasyente, nagsasalita mag-isa, pero walang kausap, i-consider mo na yan na auditory hallucination. At ano daw ang pinaka-common na auditory hallucination? It is command hallucination. Kaya pag nakita mo isang tao nagsasalita mag-isa at parang may kausap talaga, i-consider mo may nag-uutos at may bumubulong dyan. Kaya that's the reason why they usually hurt themselves or they sometimes become angry all of a sudden and nagkakaroon sila ng violent outburst out of the blue. Alright, so that is your paranoid schizophrenia. At sila din did I say suicidal tendencies? Yes. Bakit? May bumubulong sa kanila. Another subtype of schizophrenia is catatonic schizophrenia. Catatonic schizophrenia. Ano ba yung mga characteristics ni catatonic schizo? Number 1, can I erase the board first? Alright? Catatonic na tayo, meron silang mutism. Mutism meaning they refuse to speak, pero hindi sila pipe. Meron din silang stupor. Yung sinasabing catatonic stupor, yung nakatulala, bato. At eto tandaan, the hallmark sign of catatonic, and I mean hallmark sign of catatonic schizophrenia is a waxy flexibility. Waxy flexibility meaning they can maintain a desired position for a long time without discomfort. Kahit nakaganyan yan, o kakaganyan yan sila, hanggang maghapon hindi yan mga ngawet. That is waxy flexibility. But remember, just because hindi sila gumagalaw, it doesn't mean hindi na sila hindi na sila pwedeng magkaroon ng ecopraxia. Meron din po. Actually, extremes. It's either hindi gumagalaw or tuloy-tuloy yung galaw nila. So that is your catatonic schizophrenia. The third subtype is disorganized type. This is number 3 already. Disorganized type. This disorganized type is considered as the confused type. Why? Because inappropriate ang kanilang affect. Siguro nakakita na tayo ng taong grasa. Yes? Pakitignan nga po yung katabi ninyo. Baka pwede nang ma-qualify din. Biro lang po. Yung mga taong grasa, ito daw yung kadalasang initial diagnosis sa kanila. Yes, disorganized type. And this disorganized type is usually characterized by silly giggling or laughing. Silly, giggling, or laughing. Sila yung tumatawa mag-isa. Bumubungis-gis mag-isa. Tumatawa mag-isa. Umahagik-hik. Nagsasalita mag-isa. At pag tumawa yung mga yan, nakakaloko, nakakapang-asar. Kaya pag ikaw a nurse, you will be given a sign, you will be given a task, or you will be given the opportunity to assign rooms to different kinds of schizophrenia. Pakiusap lang, utang na loob, wag mong pagsasamahin at paghaharapin si paranoid type at saka itong dalawa. Alam mangyayari? Magsasabong yan. Next, we have undifferentiated type. Undifferentiated type. Alam mo, ang tawag ko dito parang, kumbaga sa Pilipinas, SM Shumart. Why? Because you've got it all. Kilala niyo naman siguro si Daniel Padilla, no? Ano nasa iyo ng lahat. Yes! This undifferentiated type, meaning, you cannot differentiate kung ano talagang klaseng schizophrenia meron siya. Because their undifferentiated type meets the criteria of all types of schizophrenia. Nasa kanya ng lahat ng simptomas, both negative and positive symptoms. Nasa kanya ng characteristics na minsan praning, minsan catatonic, minsan disorganized, minsan okay siya. So that is your undifferentiated type. And the last one is your residual type. Residual type meaning to say your patient is in remission. Patient is in remission. What is remission? Did I hear bumabalik na symptoms? That's relapse. When you say remission, meaning almost symptom-free. Pag sinabing almost symptom-free, parang imagine mo na lang nakausap ng isang tao, ang ganda-ganda ng usapan nyo, ayos eh, parang wala kang mapapansin na bakas ng nakalipas. Pero pagdating sa dulo, may sasabihin niya isang salita, mapapakamot ka na lang, sasabihin mo, ay patay. Yun lang. They also can display odd beliefs at saka medyo kakaibang behavior din. Pero, pagkausap mo, medyo matinutino na at mas matinutino kaysa doon sa others. Residual type. Kasi, yun nga, medyo halos wala ka na makikitang symptoms. Pero, pagdating somewhere along the way, may mapapansin kang ups. Parang may natitira pang. That's why it's called residual type. Do you understand? All right. Nurse management will be, number 1, syempre ang priority natin sa kanila is safety always. Especially if your client is paranoid. Pag ang pasyente mo naman ay catatonic, your priority would be nutrition. Kasi ang mga catatonic, kahit may food sa harapan yan, kung hindi mo i-guide yung kutsara at ilagay sa bibig, hindi yan ngunguya. Present reality, of course, but when presenting reality, we have to remember this one main principle when communicating with them. Present reality, yes, but never ever argue. Because if you argue with them, they have the tendency to get frustrated. And if they get frustrated, they will get mad. And if they get mad, doon nagkakaroon ng violence and anger. So never ever argue with these people. Alright? What else? Always explain procedure. Bago ka lumapit, bago ka umalis, or before touching your client, or before doing anything, dapat sasabihin mo sa kanila, especially kung paranoid yan. Kasi bawat movement, baka iisipin nila kung anong gagawin mo sa kanila. Of course. What else? You also have to maintain your distance. If, syempre, of course, social zone tayo. 3 to 4 feet ang distance natin. What else? Do not laugh, whisper in front of your client. Lalo kung paranoid yan. Alright? And what else? Since alam natin kanina, priority natin is safety, and how are we going to provide safety to our clients? We have to set limits. Set limits. And when setting limits, you have to be firm and consistent. Firm and consistent. If you say yes, yes. If you say no, no. If you allow one person, then allow everybody, but there is always an exemption to the rule depending on the situation. Do you understand? And that is schizophrenia. And we're back. Good afternoon again. We're done with schizophrenia. Let's move on now to mood disorders. Now, the term mood disorders was formerly known as mood swings. But we do not use that term anymore kasi ang mood swings daw po ay associated sa menopause. Hindi naman lahat na nagme-menopause ay nagbabipolar, di ba? That is why it was later on changed to manic depressive disorder, but now we call it mood disorders. Now, in mood disorders, actually both men and women can have this, young and old alike. Geniuses are not spared. At alam nyo ba, sabi sa research, kung sino daw yung matatalino at intelligent, yung mga genius, ito daw ang kadalasang sakit nila. But the greatest risk is a family history. Now, there are a lot of mood disorders na meron tayo. Pero actually, 4 yung pinaka-common. And that is bipolar 1, bipolar 2, cyclothymia, and dysthymia. Let's start with bipolar 1 first. So what is bipolar 1? Bipolar 1 is the presence of only one manic episode with or without depression. I will repeat, it is the presence of only one manic episode with or without depression. And to further illustrate to you how bipolar 1 looks like, allow me to draw these lines. Bipolar 1. Supposing that these lines represent your affect or your feelings or your mood today, yan. 5 lines yan. So that the middle line here is your normal state. Normal. Yan. Another term for normal is the Greek word euthymia. Euthymia. That is a Greek word for normal. So if I ask you, how are you feeling today? Euthymic. Alright. Now, so nasa normal state ka daw ngayon. Now, any emotions higher than the normal, nagkaroon ka ng slight elation of feelings. Slightly umangat ng konti yan. Ang tawag doon ay hypomania. So that the broken lines on top of normal is hypomania. Alright, can you follow? Alright, so this is hypomania. But if you have this exaggerated feeling of well-being, exaggerated feeling meaning ang OA ng pagkatao mo, na naabot mo yung tuktok ng kakulitan mo, hyperactivity mo, aggression mo, ang kulit-kulit mo, ewan ko sa'yo, ang tawag po doon ay mania. Yan. Can you follow? Alright, so that the highest form of emotion is called mania. Alright, so ngayon, tatanungin kita, nasang state ka daw ngayon? Nasang linya ka ngayon? Sabi mo, normal. Everybody, may I ask you to please sit properly? Sige, ready? Sit properly like this. And I want you to put your hands on your laps. Okay? And may I request all of you to please drop your shoulders at the count of 3. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Mom, I feel sad. And metaphorically speaking, I feel so down. So any emotions lower than the normal is called depression. So that the broken lines below normal is depression. But if you have this exaggerated na, at naabot mo yung pinakailalim-ilalimang kalungkutan na yan, at yung kalungkutan na nararamdaman mo, ay umabot daw po ng 2 weeks, minimum of 2 weeks, tuloy-tuloy, then it is called major depression. Balikan natin yung lines natin. Ano daw yung normal? Euthymia. Pag umangat ng konti, hypomania. Pag sobrang high, taas ng energy mo, mania. Ngayon, ito yung si-normal, bumaba yung naramdaman mo, that is depression. Sobrang lalim ng kalungkutan mo, that's major depression. So that, bipolar 1 is the presence of only one manic episode with or without depression. And it goes a little something like this. From normal, umakyat ka dun sa mania, bingo, that is bipolar 1. Sabi natin kanina sa bipolar 1, with or without depression. Pwedeng meron, pwedeng depression, basta umabot sa mania, that is bipolar 1. Ngayon, lagyan natin ng isang depression. Pak. Now, if there is a combination of one manic episode and depression, then it is called bipolar 1 mixed type. Mixed type. Kasi nahaluan siya ng isang depression. Sabi sa studies, halimbawa daw yung pasyente mo ay may bipolar 1 mixed type at yung manic episode niya, gunag ng depression, kadalasan daw po lalaki yan. Pero, pag nauna ang depression, bago umakyat sa mania, babae daw po yan. Actually, ang symptoms ni mania at saka ni hypomania, pareho. So, saan nagkakatalo? Saan nagkakaiba? Sa duration ng isang episode. Because one manic episode lasts for 7 days, tuloy-tuloy. That is 7 days. And one hypomanic episode lasts for 4 days only. Do you understand bipolar 1? Sige, para mas lubusan natin siyang maunawaan, i-compare ngayon natin siya kay bipolar 2. So, the same din yung lines natin. Okay, so let's define bipolar 2 first. Ready? Bipolar 2 is the presence of only one, isa lang din daw ulit, but this time, hypomanic episode. One hypomanic episode with major depression. Ano itsura nun? Ganito. Look at the board. One hypomanic episode with major depression. You see? Tignan natin siya sa bipolar 1. Si bipolar 1, pwedeng wala o pwedeng merong depression. Basta, meron siyang mania. Si bipolar 2, hanggang hypomania lang. Ilang days daw po si hypomanic episode? 4. Alright. At dapat may major depression. So that the distinguishing mark for a bipolar 2 is the presence of a major depressive episode. Question. If the symptoms last for 4 days, is it mania or hypomania? 4 days. It's hypomania. Ngayon, pag may hypomania, is it bipolar 1 or 2? It is 2. Now, if the symptoms last for 7 days, is it mania or hypomania? Mania. Ngayon, kung may mania, is it bipolar 1 or 2? It's bipolar 1. That's the difference between bipolar 1 and bipolar 2. Do you understand? Yes. Thank you. Let's move on to cyclothymia. Now, cyclothymia is the presence of several, and I mean several, hindi lang tag-isa, several episodes of hypomania and depression. I will repeat. It is the presence of several episodes of hypomania and depression over a period of 2 years. Yes, ikaw daw ay may cyclothymia kapag sa loob daw po ng 2 taon o mahigit pa, marami kang episodes ng hypomania at depression. Ano kaya itsura nun? Ganito. From normal, umakyat ka sa hypomania, depression, hypomania, depression, hypo-dep, hypo-dep, hypo-dep. So meaning to say, bakit kaya tinawag na cyclothymia ang disorder na to? Kasi parang, alright, parang naging cycle na ng buhay niya. Na pagkatapos ng isang hypomanic episode, pwede siyang magkaroon ng another episode. But I want to give emphasis on this. According to DSM 4th and 5th edition, Diagnostic and Statistical Manual, 4th and 5th edition, sabi doon, usually, okay, sige, bago ko ano. Hypomanic episode. Ayan, nagkaroon ka ng hypomanic episode. Ilang daw days yun? 4 days. Ngayon, nagkaroon ako ng hypomanic episode. 4 days, tuloy-tuloy. Then after 4 days, pwede ba ako magkaroon ng euthymia or normal? Oo naman. And usually, eto yan. Pagkatapos yan, pwede ako magkaroon ng another hypomanic episode or depressive episode. Usually, sabi po, sa DSM 4th and 5th edition, ang interval or gap in between those episodes usually takes about 2 months. Minimum of 2 months. Ngayon, let's say for example, nagkaroon ako ng hypomanic episode, 4 days. Pwede ako maging normal, yes. After 2 months, pwede ako magkaroon ng another hypomanic episode, oo naman. Or depression. Question, what if nagkaroon ako ng another episode in less than 2 months? Let's say, after 2 weeks, nagkaroon ako ng another episode. Is that possible? Yes, and it's happening. Now, if there's frequent shifting of moods na nangyayari in less than 2 months, then it is called rapid cycling. Rapid cycling is the frequent shifting of moods that usually appear in less than 2 months. Do you understand? All right. And the last one is dysthymia. Dysthymia. Ano nga pala yung tawag daw doon sa normal euthymia? Now, what is dysthymia? Actually, dysthymia is a Greek word meaning bad mind. Bad mind or ill mood. Ill mood. Ngayon, pag pinaghalo mo sila, bad mood. Pag bad ang mood, ill ang mind. So that dysthymia is the presence of a depressed mood. It is the presence of a depressed mood for more days than not. I will repeat, dysthymia is the presence of a depressed mood for more days than not. Over a period of 2 years. So, ibig sabihin, ikaw daw ay may dysthymia kapag sa loob daw po ng 2 taon o mahigit pa, mas maraming araw na depressed ka kaysa sa normal. O, di ba ang cute? So, paano itsura nun? Ganito. Dysthymia. Halimbawa, normal ka okay ka ng 3 days. Tapos, depressed ng 1 week. Okay ka ng 5 days. Tapos, depressed ng another week. Okay ka ng 4 days. Depressed na naman ng 6 days. So, ibig sabihin, mas matagal yung inilalagay mo o ini-standby mo sa depresyon kaysa sa maging normal, ang tawag po doon ay dysthymia. But if you have several episodes of hypomania and depression over the period of 2 years, then it is called cyclothymia. But if you have one hypomanic episode with major depression, 1 or 2, bipolar 1 or 2, may major depression, it's bipolar 2. But if you have one manic episode with or without depression, then it is called bipolar 1. And these are your mood disorders. Now, we have to remember that when you say mood disorders, we are talking about affect. What are we talking about when we say mood disorders? Everybody say affect. All right. Now, pag sinabing affect related sa mood disorders, dalawa lang yan. It's either mania or depression. All right. Let's start with mania first. Mania. So what is mania? Ready with your ball pens? All right. Mania is the exaggerated. It is the exaggerated feeling of well-being lasting for how many days? Days. I will repeat. Mania is the exaggerated feeling of well-being lasting for 7 days. What if 4 days lang? So it becomes hypomania. Now, listen. Para masabi natin ng isang pasyente ay may isang clinical manic episode, and I mean clinical, dapat ma-meet daw niya ang criteria. Alright, dalawa yung criteria. Una, at least how many days? 7 days. That's the first. And the second one is that the patient must manifest at least 5 of the symptoms na babanggitin natin today. Ano daw yung criteria ng isang manic episode? Ilang days daw naglalast yung isang episode? 7. And at least how many of the symptoms must be present? 5. Alright, so what are the clinical, and I mean clinical, what are the clinical symptoms of one manic episode? Actually, ganito yan. Kung si schizophrenia may dalawang categories, positive and negative, and we mentioned that already earlier. Sa manic episode, 4 na categories, namely affective, physiologic, cognitive, and behavioral symptoms. So let's start with the affective symptoms. When you say affective symptoms, ito yung pakiramdam ng pasyente. Ito yung nararamdaman niya. Halimbawa, manic ka ngayon. Ano-ano yung mga nararamdaman mo? Number 1, meron kang elation. Feeling mo, nakaangat ka. Euphoria. Feeling mo, nakalutang ka. Kaya ang gaan-gaan ng pakiramdam mo. Kaya ang taong na under manic episode, ang gaan ng pakiramdam niya, kaya iniisip niya lahat ng bagay kaya niyang gawin. That's why don't you ever dare these people to do something hindi kanya uurungan. Kaya niyang gawin lahat yan dahil pakiramdam niya, magaan lang siya. Pangatlo, pakiramdam nila, they are very humorous. Nakakatawa sila. At wala silang pakialam kahit pagtawanan mo yan. Why? Ito yung pang-4. They lack shame or guilt. They lack shame or guilt. Walang remorse, hindi nagsisisi, at ang kapal ng mukha, walang hiya. And those are the affective symptoms of one manic episode. Let's move on to the physiologic. When you say physiologic, pinag-uusapan natin itong katawan na to. So ano ba yung mga physiological symptoms ng isang episode, manic episode? Number 1, they have dehydration, natutuyuan. What else? Poor nutrition. Poor nutrition and decrease ang kanilang sleeping time. Because a person under manic episode thinks that there is little time for them to eat or sleep. Why? Because they are very much preoccupied with psychomotor activities. Minsan nga, kahit hindi sila matulog or hindi sila kumain, basta may ginagawa sila, mas gusto nila yon. And can you just imagine, for 1 week, halos hindi matulog or kumain, galaw ng galaw, daldal ng daldal, and you would notice after 7 days, you would notice significant weight loss. Yes, weight loss. So those are the physiologic symptoms of one manic episode. Let's move on now to the cognitive symptoms. Meaning, ano yung tumatakbo sa isip ng isang taong manic? Number 1, meron silang, they are very ambitious. Ambitious. So, at my grandiosity. Grandiosity. They also have illusion and flight of ideas. Sige, I'll give you one example. Halimbawa, sa isang pasyente, pagsamasamahin natin yung symptoms na yan, behavioral symptoms. Isang pasyente, ambisyosa. Ang yabang-yabang. Sabi niya sa'yo, panoorin niyo ako, lilipad ako. So, aakit siya sa tuktok ng building at pupunta siya doon sa gilid ng bubong. Tapos, ang tingin niya, mababa lang. So, that's illusion. At habang tumitingin siya sa baba, ang dal-dal-daldan niya at kung ano yung sinasabi niya, may flight of idea siya. Since ang plano niya ay lilipad siya, so anong gagawin niya? Tatalon siya. Pagtalon niya, of course, what would you expect? Maaaring mamatayan. Why? Because they lack judgment and they deny danger. So what do you think is the priority pag ang pasyente natin ay manic? Of course, it is safety. And the last group of symptoms are your behavioral symptoms. Question, when you say behavioral symptoms, anong ibig sabihin nito? Are these subjective or objective symptoms? Yes, these are objective symptoms as observed by the nurse. Objective meaning, behavior nila, papapansin mo, ano yung ugali ng taong to? Ano yung pinapakita niyang manifestation, yung kinikilos-kilos niya? So, ano yung mga behavioral symptoms? Number 1, meron silang agitation. Agitation. What else? Maligalig. Ano pa? Aggression. Siyempre, maanik nga. And may hyperactivity. Ulitin ko. Agitation, aggression. What else? Hyperactivity. What else? Poor hygiene. Poor hygiene. Hindi naliligo, hindi nagpapalit ng damit, wala silang pakialam kung anong amoy nila, kung anong itsura nila. Why? Because they lack shame or guilt. What else? They are also argumentative. Argumentative silang sila. At hindi nagpapatalo yan. Remember this. This is one main principle with communicating with these people. Never, ever argue. Again, I will repeat, because if you argue with them, they have the tendency to get frustrated. And if they get frustrated, they will get mad. And eventually, nagkakaroon ng anger and violence. So never, ever argue. Next, provocative din sila. Magaling sila mag-initiate ng mga activities, magaling magpasimuno, magpromotor, o hahamuning kanyan. Without them realizing na sa paghahamon nila, delikado na yung buhay nila. Why? Because they lack judgment and they deny danger. They are also sexually overactive. Sexually overactive. Kaya may sex maniacs. And lastly, they have excessive spending of money. Pag nakahawak ng pera yung mga yan, ubos. Kahit hindi kailangan bibili nila yan. Hindi titigil lang at hindi nauubos yung pera na yan. Why? Because they lack judgment. Now, pag sinabi natin clinical manic episode, ilang days? 7. At least how many of the symptoms must be present? At least 5. For 7 days, yeah. Pero kung 4 days lang, it's hypomania. Nursing management, what's our priority here? Our priority is safety. And how to provide safety, we have to set limits. And when setting limits, we have to be firm and consistent. Firm and consistent. If you say yes, yes. If you say no, no. Kasi pag naging firm and consistent tayo, doon natin makukuha ang respeto ng pasyente. At pag nirespeto ka niyan, lahat ng sasabihin mo, susunod yan sa'yo. Now, since these people are very much preoccupied with psychomotor activities and they do not know what is safe and what is not, so anong gagawin natin? We have to divert their attention by providing activities. Tayo ang mag-iisip at nagpo-provide ng activities nila. And what kind of activities are we supposed to give kung pasyente mo ay manic? Well, actually, any kind of activity will do, but make sure that it does not require competition. No competitive activities. Remember, hindi nagpapatalo yan. Well, aside from safety, of course, lagi natin iniisip priority din natin yung physiological needs. Yes. Physiological, lalo kung hindi kumakain at hindi natutulog sila. At ang mas maganda, bibigyan natin sila ng, ano bang klase? Usually, yung mga finger foods. Finger foods rich in proteins and carbohydrates. Bakit? Para kahit may movement sila. At least may source of energy. Finger foods are foods that can be eaten while on the run or doing something. Di ba? Can you eat a banana while walking? Of course. Can you eat a hamburger while watering the plants? Of course. Subukan mo kumain ng arroz caldo habang nagsuswimming. O, di ba ang ganda? So, any kind of food, basta make sure na finger foods, kasi hindi mo natin mapapagstay yan ng matagal para ibusin yung isang meal. Gagalaw at gagalaw. Remember, they're very, very hyperactive. Do you understand? So, that is mania. Let's move on to another affect, which is depression. So what is depression? Depression is the feelings of sadness. It is the feelings of sadness and multiplied unhappiness. Ang depression daw ay ang pakiramdam ng kalungkutan at maraming beses na walang kaligayahan. Sad-sad naman nun. You know, the number one cause of depression is a sense of loss. It is a sense of loss. Something or somebody that is so valuable to you, pag nawala or hindi na pa sa'yo, that can lead to depression. And remember, depressed people are considered suicidal potential. Well, I'm not saying that just because you are depressed today, you must commit suicide right away to complete that definition. Hindi yun ang ibig ko sabihin. But you are considered as a suicidal potential. And did you know that more than 60% of people who are depressed commit suicide? Yes, they commit suicide. Kaya anong priority natin sa depression? Of course, safety pa rin naman. And did you know that according to the World Health Organization, that's WHO, by the year 2020, and that's 3 years from now, 3 years from 2017, depression will be the number one debilitating disorder in the world. Nakakatakot. It's so debilitating na naunahan niya na ang cardiovascular diseases at saka mga diabetes mellitus na yan. Bakit? Kasi hindi naman lahat ng tao may diabetes. Hindi naman lahat ng tao may sakit sa puso. Pero tandaan, lahat ng tao may feelings. Actually, yung salitang depression at saka sadness, these two words are commonly used interchangeably. Pero let me remind you, magkaiba po talaga sila. Kasi sadness is just one of the symptoms of depression. Sadness is one of our feelings. Just like happiness, parte ng buhay natin yan. But depression is never ever a normal part of our lives. Because depression is a disorder. But in fairness, depression is the most treatable of all kung properly addressed and properly diagnosed. Alright? Ano pagkakaiba ng depression sa major depression? Actually, to tell you honestly, ang symptoms nila pareho lang din. So, saan nagkakaiba? Saan nagkakatalo? Sa duration ng isang episode. Because one depressive episode lasts for 7 days. Isang linggo. Depression na yan. Pero, pag yung naramdaman mong mga simptomas na to ay nagtagal for a minimum of 2 weeks, I will repeat, minimum of 2 weeks, that is major depression already. Now, para masabi natin ang isang pasyente ay may clinical depression, and I mean clinical again, dapat ma-meet daw niya yung criteria. Una, ano yung una? Ilang days daw ang depression? 7 days. And at least 5 of the symptoms must be present. Now, ano ba yung mga clinical symptoms na yan? Kagaya ni mania, may 4 na categories din po. Namely, again, affective, physiologic, cognitive, or behavioral symptoms. So, let's start with the affective symptoms. Ano ba yung mga nararamdaman daw ng taong depressed? Una, anger. Kanino kadalasang nagagalit ang taong depressed? Correct. Sa sarili niya. So it is our responsibilities to, as nurses, to encourage our clients to verbalize their feelings, especially the underlying anger. Kasi ang anger, pag hindi mo na ilabas ng tama yan, pwede mong i-redirect sa sarili mo. Yang galit na yan. At once na nagalit ka sa sarili mo, ano ang kaya mong gawin? Alam mo na ang ibig kong sabihin. So aside from anger, meron din silang anxiety, apathy, bitterness. Yes, bitterness. Next, they have guilt. Tignan niyo yung affective symptoms ni depression. They lack shame or guilt. Pero pag ikaw ay depressed, punong-puno ka ng guilt feelings to the point na sinisisi mo ang sarili mo. At pag sinisi mo yung sarili mo, magagalit ka sa sarili mo, pag hindi mo na-express ang sarili mo, ano susunod mong gagawin? Alam nyo na. Next, sadness. You see? It's there. Sadness is just one of the symptoms of depression. And lastly, meron silang feelings of tatlong less. Ano yung tatlong less? Helpless, hopeless, and worthlessness. I will repeat. Helplessness, hopelessness, and worthlessness. So those are the affective symptoms of one depressive episode. Let's move on to the physiologic symptoms of depression. Number 1, meron silang somatic pains. Soma refers to our body. Kaya pag ang tao ay depressed, ang daming nararamdaman kung ano-anong sakit. Palipad-lipad, masakit ulo, likod, batok, balakang, masakit ipin, masakit mata, pati bangs, masakit. So, merong somatic pains. Next, they have GI disturbances, gastrointestinal disturbances. All right, let's give examples of gastrointestinal disturbances. It can be nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, hyperacidity, dyspepsia, heartburn, butterflies, cramping, etc., etc. Next, they also have sleep or eating pattern disturbances. Sleep or eating pattern disturbances. Nag-iiba. Yung usual na depression, yung typical na depression, may mga tao na may ganyan. Usually, hindi sila kumakain, hindi sila makatulog, tapos ang haggard-haggard nila, pumapayat. Pero may mga tao na pag may depression, kain ng kain, tulog ng tulog, tumataba, ang sabi, hiyang sa problema. Yes, may ganon. Alam niyo ba kung anong tawag doon? That is what we call atypical depression. And did you know that atypical depression is common in younger generations? Yes. Kasi sa medyo may edad na ng konti, madalas yung melancholic depression, yung mga feelings of melancholia, nostalgia, yung mga nagmo-moment at nagre-recall ng mga nakaraan. Common yan sa matatanda. Pero I'm not saying now, minsan kahit bata, lalo na pag broken-hearted. And of course, lastly, nagkakaroon sila ng hormonal changes. So what happens? Pag nagkakaroon ng hormonal changes sa babae pag nade-depress. Una, nag-oily yung face. Tapos naglalabasan ng mga pimples. Nalalagas yung buhok. Ano pa? Pwede magkaroon ng amenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, or polymenorrhea. Sa mga lalaki, nagdi-decrease ang kanilang testosterone level. Nagdi-decrease ang libido. Pwedeng magkaroon ng impotency, infertility, and other sexual dysfunctions such as erectile dysfunction, orgasmic dysfunction, or pwedeng retrograde ejaculation or even delayed ejaculation. Those are your physiological symptoms of depression. Let's move on to the cognitive symptoms. Okay, ano ba yung tumatakbo sa isip daw ng taong depressed? Number one, meron silang ambivalence. Gusto na nilang maging masaya, pero iyak naman ang iyak. That's ambivalence. Gusto na nilang makahalubilo sa maraming tao, pero nakakulong lang dun sa kwarto. That is ambivalence. Next, anhedonia. Walang pleasure, walang interest, walang enjoyment, hindi natutuwa. Manonood ng sine. Ano sa tingin nyo ang gagawin niya sa loob ng sinihan? Iiyak. Kita mo, iiyak lang, magbabayad pa ng entrance. Pwede naman sa car park na lang, hindi ba? Ang galing. They also have avolition, wala nang motivation. Alam nyo, ang tao, pag nade-depress, ang daming nawawala. Ang dami ding nagdi-decrease. Ano-ano yung mga nagdi-decrease na yan? Decrease ang kanilang memory. Nagdi-decrease ang kanilang concentration, kaya nakatulala. Nagdi-decrease ang kanilang decision-making. Malalaman mo ang isang taong depressed, pag tinanong mo yan, dalawa lang ang posibleng sagot niyan. Una, it's either ewan ko or bahala ka. And every time they make decisions, they are always not sure. Kaya sabi nila, siguro, or magaganyan lang ng balikan. At pag hindi sila sigurado sa sinasabi nila, nagkakaroon ng feelings of uncertainty. Uncertainty. Meron ding pessimism. Pessimistic meaning, kabaliktaran ng optimistic. So negative. Tandaan mo, pag ang tao ay depressed, laging negative yan. Bakit? May helpless, hopeless, worthless. Kaya wag na lang, tama na, ayoko na. Sayang lang. Ganun ang mga katwiran nila. Self-blame, yes, they blame themselves. At once they blame themselves, nakakaramdam ng guilt. Pag nakaramdam ng guilt, magagalit sa sarili. Pag hindi na ilabas ng maayos yung galit na yan, that can lead to self-destructive thoughts, self-mutilation, and the worst part is suicide. Yes. Kaya ano ang priority natin pag ang tao ay depressed? It is again, safety. And the last group of symptoms are your behavioral symptoms. So ano yung mapapansin natin sa isang tao na depressed? Una, agitation, irritability, sungit, sometimes may restlessness. You would also notice isolation and withdrawal. Isolation and withdrawal. Nakakulong na lang yan doon sa kwarto. Wala siyang kausap. Tapos, since ang pangit ng feelings na yan, nanghihiram sila ng tapang o lakas ng loob, para pagtakpan yung pangit na feelings na yan, kaya kadalasan nagkakaroon ng substance abuse or chemical abuse. Question, why do these people indulge to chemicals and substances or even alcohols like that? The reason? Because they cannot tolerate anxiety and pain. That every time they're feeling it, nanghihiram sila ng tapang at lakas ng loob o ng kaligayahan dyan sa mga alak o chemical na yan or droga na yan. And before they know it, they are already dependent on it and they cannot live without it. Yes, that is why depression is comorbid with alcohol or substance abuse. You would also notice decrease ang kanilang productivity. Nakahiga na lang maghapon, nakahulma na lang yung likod nila doon sa kama nila. Underachievement, hindi na pumapasok sa school, nag-quit na sa work, hindi na pumapasok sa review, nag-drop na, ipinabayaan yung gawaing bahay, lahat ng mga relationships nila, they are all gone. And if everything is gone, so what is left? Nothing. Kasi ang taong depressed, they feel that they are alone. They are also sexually non-responsive. Balikan mo si Manic. Si Manic, sexually overactive, pero pag depressed, non-responsive. And lastly, you would also notice unwarranted tearfulness. Tearfulness. Naluluha-luha sila. So malalaman mo ang isang tao, pag may pinagdadaanan yan, makikipagkwentuhan yan, tatawa-tawa sila because they want to be okay or even pretend that everything is okay. Pero pag may narinig yan na isang bagay, o may nakita, or may nag-remind sa kanila ng sense of loss nila, mangingilid-ngilid yung luha na yan. That's unwarranted tearfulness. So, anong gagawin natin pag may nakita kang isang tao nangingilid-ngilid yung luha? Sa tingin nyo, ano bang mas magandang itanong? Are you okay? Or, is there something wrong? A or B? Is there something wrong? Of course, pag tinanong mo siya, is there something wrong? Ang immediate response ng taong depressed is, no, I'm fine. I'm okay. Okay lang ako. Sige, iwanan mo na lang ako. Kasi ang number one na statement ng taong depressed is, leave me alone. I wanna be alone. Pag sinabi nila sa'yo yan, the more you should stay. Tandaan, never ever leave a depressed client. The more you should stay. By simply sitting beside your client without saying anything, without doing anything, tabihan mo lang. That would convey the message that you want to understand and you care without saying anything. Kung kailangan you offer your shoulder to cry on, fine. Do not assume or presume na siya. Never ask that question. Hayaan mo siyang unang magsalita. Sabihan mo siya, pakiramdaman mo, basahin mo yung behavior niya, hayaan mo siyang unang magsalita. Ngayon, kung naiinip ka na, katabi mo siyang ganyan, sabi niya, sige, iwanan mo na lang ako. Usually, ganun sasabihin niya. Sabihin mo lang, no, I'll stay with you. I'll sit beside you. Ngayon, paano mo malalaman kung kailan ka magtatanong ulit? Ganito, pag nakita mo yan, pakiramdaman mo, and I'm sure pinapakiramdaman ka din yan. Malalaman mo kung kailan ka magtatanong, pag nakita mo yung katabi mo na yan, na sumandal, at humugot ng isang malalim na hininga, alam mo meaning nun? Bumubuelo na yan. Nagre-ready na siya. Parang, at ano, pag nakita mo yon, yun na yung hint na pwede kang magtanong. At ano itatanong mo sa kanya? Ito lang. Pwede mo itong itanong. Pwede mo itanong. Do you want to talk about it? I'm here to listen. Gusto mo pag-usapan natin? Makikinig ako. Kasi alam niyo minsan, ang mga taong depressed, hindi naman nila kailangan ng immediate solution right away dahil alam nila yon. Ang gusto lang nila minsan kasi, kausap. So once na pag naramdaman nila yon na sinabi mong makikinig ako, babagsak yung luha na yan. So once na nakita mo na bumagsak ang luha na yan, ang susunod mong gagawin is to secure, protect your client, provide privacy. Alika, doon tayo sa isang lugar na tayo lang. Or you can excuse, oh guys, pwede ba iwanan niyo muna kami konti? Kasi pag nangyari yon, doon mo makukuha yung tiwala ng pasyente mo. Ng taong yung kausap mo. Actually, it's not what we do to them. It's how we make them feel. Focus on the feelings of your client. Pag naramdaman ng pasyente mo na iniingatan mo at pinoprotektahan mo siya, magtitiwala yan sa'yo. At once na nakuha mo si tiwala, magkukwento na yan sa'yo. Bingo. Pero pag nagkwento yan sa'yo, remember, nurses, we should be trustworthy, observe strict confidentiality. Alright? Never give unsolicited advice unless na hiningi yan sa'yo. Never judge, condemn, insult, criticize. This is not the best time for you to do that. Huwag mong idot-dot sa pagbumukha niya lahat ng mga ginawa niyang kamalian, lahat ng kasalanan, you are eroding the self-esteem. Tulungan mong umahon yung tao by focusing on their strengths and not their weaknesses, but never give false hopes. Ngayon, kung medyo matagal-tagal na may major depression na yan, question, is it okay if you ask them directly if they have plans of ending their lives? Yes, better safe than sorry. But remember, nurses, when talking to these people as much as possible, avoid using the word suicide. Because that word is so powerful. It is so powerful that every time you're using it, you are giving the person the idea to commit it even more. So instead of asking, do you have plans of committing suicide? Boom! Tumatagos hanggang laman ko yan. So why not ask, Do you have plans of ending your life or killing yourself? Yes, you may say they are synonymous, but remember, nursing is an art. Remember that. Observe for suicidal ideation. How would you know if that person has ideation? They ask you so many questions about death, mortality, sakit, everything. And they even ask you questions like, if I jump this high, will I die? Or how many pills do I need to drink before I die? Things like that. All right? And of course, suicidal behaviors, paano yun? They are being overly organized. Meaning, nagbibili na. Nagbibilin. Inaayos na nila lahat yung memorial plan, yung mga titulo, mga ganyan, ibinibili na. And sometimes, ito na indicator, they usually give out their things which were so important to them before, now it's yours. Yan. And if you see, if that depression has been lifted, that's the greatest time. That's the time, the greatest risk na kaya na nilang i-commit yung plano ng suicide na yan. Why? Because they already have a plan and they have the energy to commit it. Kaya tandaan, pag ang pasyente ay may depression, ano ang priority natin? Safety. Alam natin, may suicidal tendencies, may mga pwedeng magkaroon ng suicidal thoughts. So, ano isang gagawin natin as nurses? We have to divert their attention by providing, again, activities. At anong klaseng activities? Activities that are easily achievable or activities that would help them rebuild their self-esteem. Yung mga activities na alam mong gusto nilang gawin o base sa interest nila, na pag natapos nila yung isang maliit na bagay na yan, they will feel good about themselves. Kaya sasabihin nila, pwede pa pala akong gumawa ng mga ganitong bagay. Help them rebuild their self-esteem. Do you understand? Question, what's the number one cause of depression? It is a sense of loss. And remember, depressed people are considered suicidal potential. What is suicide? Suicide is the outcome. It is the outcome of a person's inability to deal with catastrophic stress. It is the outcome of a person's inability to deal with catastrophic stress. Not just ordinary stress, and I mean catastrophizing. Ang pagpapakamatay o ang pagpapatiwakala ay ang resulta ng walang kakayanang harapin ang mga problemang nakawiwindang sa buhay. Now, before we proceed, we need to learn 4 terminologies first. The first one is suicidal ideation. Suicidal ideation refers to a person's thoughts or ideas about suicide. Lahat tayo iba-iba ang paniniwala about suicide kasi we all belong to different cultures. Different culture view suicide differently. That is why different culture commit suicide differently. May mga kultura na ang pagpapakamatay sa kanila ay tanggap sa lipunan o may mga paniniwala sa kanila na okay lang mag-suicide kasi yun ang paniniwala at kultura nila. Pero sa ating mga Pilipino, of course, it's a no-no. It's a mortal sin. Pag-usapan natin yung mga cultures na yan. Paano daw magpakamatay ang kultura ng mga Koreano? Actually, tumatalon sila sa building. Ang mga Hapon, harikiri. Or they call it seppuku. Yung kumukuha ng samurai, tapos sasaksakin nila sa sarili nila. Because for the Japanese, especially the ancient one, suicide is an alternative manly gesture against failure. Dahil para sa mga Hapon, death before disgrace. They'd rather kill themselves rather than losing their dignity. That's their culture. Ang mga puti, pill overdose. Ang mga Europeans, Russians, and even Germans, baril. Pilipino, bigte. It's more fun in the Philippines. All right. Let's move on to another term which is your suicidal gestures. Suicidal gestures are non-lethal. Again, non-lethal but self-injurious acts. Non-lethal but self-injurious acts. Sabi, non-lethal, hindi nakakamatay, pero nakakapinsala. Ang tanong, bakit ginagawa kung hindi naman mamamatay? You know the reason? To get attention. So meaning to say, when you say suicidal gestures, these are attention-seeking behaviors. Pero just because sinabi natin na non-lethal, it doesn't mean na hindi talaga sila mamamatay. Minsan natutuluyan sila. Natutuluyan na. Kung palaging ginagawa, o minsan naaaksidente, natutuluyan sila. Suicidal gestures. Another is your suicidal threat. Suicidal threat, this is your verbal expression of ending your life. Verbal, sinabi mo na. Actually, dalawang klase yan. It can be overt cues or covert cues. When you say overt cues, these are obvious, overt is obvious, or direct expression of ending one's life. Example, I will kill myself tonight. Directly, sinabi ko sa'yo. That's overt. But when you say covert, these are indirect expression, or sa madaling salita, read between the lines. Hindi mo niya sasabihin directly na magpapakamatay siya, pero parang namamaalam na. Those are covert cues. And the last one is your suicidal attempt. This is the actual implementation of ending one's life. Actual implementation of ending one's life. Actually, madalas na nag-gestures daw babae. Madalas na nag-a-attempt, yung complete attempt, lalaki. You know, men commit suicide differently from women. Men, if they really want to die, they will make sure that they will die. And more often than not, the method of suicide among men is more morbid than women. Now, ano ba yung mga methods of suicide? Actually, dalawa. Dalawa lang. It's either violence or drug ingestion. Violence or drug ingestion. You know, we have to be very, very sensitive. Kasi minsan makikita mo, hindi lahat ng taong nakangiti ay masaya. Hindi lahat ng umiiyak ay totoong may depresyon. Pero makikita mo minsan, kung sino daw yung mga may malulungkot na pinagdadaanan, sila yung madalas na nakangiti at madalas na nagpapatawa ng ibang tao. Ang question is this, why are there a lot of people who are depressed always smile? You know the reason? Because for them, smiling is easier than explaining why they are crying. That's the reason. And who are the suicide risk factors? Number one, male. Yung complete attempt. Ano pa? With severe anhedonia. Severe anhedonia. Iba naman, nakalagay sa ibang books, mga 15 to 24 years old. Ito yung age na very aggressive, inexperienced, because of them being so naive, na konting problema lang, akala mo may katapusan ng lahat. Pero ngayon, alam natin na nangyayari sa totoong buhay, pabata ang nagko-commit ng suicide. Depression, wag babaliwalain. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. Hindi biro ang depression. With severe anhedonia, what else? Usually sa mga Caucasians, mga puti, meron yan. What else? Living alone. Living alone. Single. Annulled, separated, divorced, widowed. Yung walang kasama sa bahay, mag-isa lang siya, walang pamilya, walang kapatid, magulang o anak, kayang-kaya niyang gawin kasi wala siyang ibang responsibilities, kundi sarili lang niya. Next, unemployed with financial problems. May terminal illness. Dahil wala namang normal na tao natatalon sa mataas na building para makapag-selfie lang. Ano pa? May terminal illness. And family history. Family history. This is not hereditary ha. Hello, magkaiba yun. Family history, parang, kunyari, nakita mo other members of the family, nakita mo yung coping mechanism nila ang baba, at lahat sila nag-suicide, malaking chance na magganon din ang gagawin mo kasi ang tawag doon ay learned helplessness. So those are the risk for suicide. But the greatest risk, please take note of this, is a previous suicide attempt. That is the greatest risk. Now, ang tanong, question is, bakit nagpapakamatay ang mga tao? Bakit? Actually, maraming behavioral expressions or interpretations kung bakit ginagawa ng mga tao. Number one, people commit suicide because they want to cry for help. If they cannot bear the pain or the suffering anymore, that's the only way to help them. They cry for help, they commit suicide. Next, some people do it because they want to escape. If they cannot put up with the mess that they did, tinatakasan yung mga utang, responsibilidad, obligasyon. Escape. Some people do it because of heroism. Especially for the suicide bombers, para sa kanila, isang kabayanihang maituturing yan. Sabi nga ng isang kakilala ko, pag ikaw daw, suicide bomber, bayani kang maituturing. And when you go to heaven, you will receive 72 virgins as your reward. Abay, ang saya nun, 72 virgins. Dami. Kaya lang, payo ko lang. Konti na lang virgin ngayon. So, na ka na. Hindi, biro lang po, biro lang. Okay. Okay. Another common behavioral expression is loss of self-esteem. Nawala ng tiwala sa sarili, nawala ng bilib sa sarili, sobrang expectations niyan, or napahiya, or na-humiliate. They commit suicide. Another reason is because of manipulation. Pag hindi mo ako binalikan, papakamatay ako. That's manipulation. Manipulating the situation. Some people do it because of martyrdom. Everyone would be better off if I'm dead or if I wasn't alive. Ako na lang. Huwag na kayo. Sige, yan na lang kayo. Martyrdom. Some people do it because of redemption. The father was the cause of the death of his kids. And to redeem himself, he committed suicide. That is redemption. That's how you interpret that behavior. Some people commit suicide because of rebirth. Yes, rebirth. This is fantasy of having a new life in heaven. Oh, heaven has got to be a better place than this. Sa heaven, walang pain, walang sufferings, walang disappointments, walang expectations, heartaches. Doon na lang. Tsaka walang bumabagsak sa board exam. Doon na lang ako kung doon ka pupunta. And lastly, some people commit suicide because of reunion. Hindi po ito yung alumni homecoming, hindi yun. Reunion meaning joining a loved one in heaven. And the greatest story, Romeo and Juliet. Romeo and Juliet. Actually, may nangyayari pa rin ganyan hanggang ngayon. Yung mag-asawa na matanda na, pag nawala yung isa, susunod yung isa. I'm sure meron kayo nababalitaan ng ganun. Yun yung sinasabing totoong forever. Alright? So, pag may nakita kang taong depressed, never ignore, offer yourself, parang depression na management natin. Tandaan, depression is never a normal part of our lives because it is a disorder and we have to take it seriously. Life is sweeter if you value it. Because itong buhay natin na to, itong katawan natin na to, pinahiram lang ng Diyos sa atin ito at nararapat lang na alagaan natin ito. We're done with mood disorders. Let's move on to Alzheimer's disease. Alzheimer's disease is a degenerative disease of the brain caused by the gradual loss or death of brain cells in the cerebral cortex. Degenerative meaning D is nawawala and they cannot generate the cells anymore. Dahan-dahan daw nawawala o namamatay ang mga brain cells na yan. Alam natin ang Alzheimer's disease ay sakit ng matanda. This is a cognitive disease. Actually, the etiology of Alzheimer's disease is still unknown up to this date. Walang makakapagsabi ng dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon daw ng Alzheimer's disease ang isang tao. But then again, there are theories. And to name a few, number one, hereditary. Of course, alam naman natin na pwedeng mamana ang sakit na ito. Pangalawa, head trauma. So make sure na iingatan natin yung ulo natin na kahit wala tayong lahi nito, pag nabagok or na aksidente at hindi na protektahan ng ulo, baaring ito daw ang maging dahilan para magkaroon ng gradual loss or death of brain cells in the cerebral cortex. Pangatlong theory is yung constant exposure to metals, yung teratogens such as mercury, lead, or even aluminum. Kaya face out ng mercurial thermometer natin kasi si mercury daw, sinishrink niyang ating brain cells. Ang lead, tinutuyo niya. Dinidiscourage mo ng mga pediatricians na mag-boil tayo ng feeding bottle sa aluminum na kaldero kasi according dun sa recent studies na yun daw aluminum content, pag na-ingest ng bata, baka maaring yan isa sa mga dahilan ng sakit na ito. But anatomically, physiologically, and scientifically speaking, ang reason daw kung bakit namamatay or nawawala ang mga brain cells na to is because of the two. One is your amyloid plaques, and the other one is your neurofibrillary tangles. Amyloid plaques. Yung word na plaque, ito yung namuo at saka nanigas. Imagine mo, supposing this is your brain cell, alright? There will be accumulation of protein fragments outside the brain cell, causing plaque formation. So once na yung paligid ni brain cell mo ay namuo at nanigas, ito si brain cell na to, patay. Neurofibrillary tangles. Neuro refers to our nerves. Fibrillary fiber. So what happens? Nagkanda buhol-buhol. Actually, noon kasi, hindi natin masasabi, makukonfirm ng isang tao ay may Alzheimer's disease unless i-autopsy natin sila. That was before, thanks to MRI. Kaya na nating i-identify daw kung ang tao ay may Alzheimer's disease habang buhay pa siya. Actually, I was able to look at an actual slide of under the microscope of a person who died with Alzheimer's disease. At ang itsura nung nakita ko sa slide na yan is, yung nerve fibers niya is, imaginein mo na lang yung isang bunch ng pickup sticks, and then bitawan mo yon. Anong itsura niya doon sa table na pinaglagyan mo? Anong nangyari sa nerve fibers niya? Nagkanda buhol-buhol sila. Parang kuryente, nag-short circuit. Imaginein mo yung wire ng electric fan mo, balatan mo yun, di ba may mga copper fibers doon that represents our nerve fibers. Balatan mo yun, pag dikit-dikitin mo sila, puputok at sasabog, masisira, wala nang dadaloy na kuryente papunta sa utak. So this is the scientific explanation. Now, let's move on to the symptoms of Alzheimer's disease. Okay? The first symptom is disturbance in Jamco. Jamco. Alam natin, habang tumatanda ang isang tao, marami ang nadadagdag. Pero mas marami ang nawawala. Ano-ano ba yung mga nadadagdag habang tumatanda ang isang tao? Nadadagdagan yung age natin. Nadadagdagan yung numero, tumataas. Nadadagdagan din yung kandilang hinihipan natin tuwing tayo ay nagbo-birthday. Mabuti na lang na naimbento yung number candle. Di ba? Imaginein mo, 85 years old yung matanda. 85 na kandila. So, bago niya mahipan yung huling kandila, balamang nag-collapse na yung lungs niyan. Imbis na birthday ay by death anniversary. Nadadagdagan yung mga sakit. Nadadagdagan yung mga wrinkles. Nadadagdagan yung mga white hairs. Nadadagdagan yung mga reklamo nila sa katawan. Pero mas marami po ang nawawala. Nawawala ang eyesight, ang pandinig, panglasa, reflexes, immune system, nawawala ang memorya. Pero alam niyo, mas masakit pag wala ng respeto ang tao sa kanila. Since this is a cognitive disease, a person with Alzheimer's disease would experience a lot of disturbances, particularly disturbance in JAMCO. What is J? Judgment. Disturbance in judgment. The way they make decisions, the way they interpret things, disturb na yan. A means affect. The way they respond, the way they react. M, memory. At alam nating lahat yun. Letter C is cognition. The time it takes for them to process the information. Bumabagal na. Halimbawa, tayo medyo bata-bata pa, ang memorya natin parang mga 32 gig, pero sa kanila, mga 128, kanya, MB pa yon. Tayo naka-flash drive, sila diskette. And letter O, orientation. At ito yung unang-una nating mapapansin sa kanila. Tatanungin nila tayo palagi, paulit-ulit, anong oras na? Anong araw ba ngayon? Anong petsa? Minom na ba ako ng gamot ko? Kumain na ba ako? Nasaan tayo? O kaya, sino ka? So, a person with Alzheimer's disease would definitely have disturbances in JAMCO. Everybody, what is J? Judgment. A, affect. M, memory. C, cognition. And letter O, it's orientation. Another is sundown syndrome. Sundown syndrome is mental confusion when the sun goes down. As in, literally, when the sun goes down, madilim na, gabi na. At pagdating ng gabi, kadalasan nag-iiba po sila. Nag-iiba sila ng personality. Hindi sila nag-iiba ng anyo, iba pong usapan yon. Nag-iiba ng personality, halimbawa, maghapon kausap mo, ayos, ang tino-tino. Pagdating ng gabi, nakalimutan niya lahat yun. Minsan, maghapon ang bait-bait, bigla na lang nagalit, biglang naging masungit, biglang umiyak, biglang natakot, biglaan lahat. At nangyayari po yan, paglubog ng araw. That is sundown syndrome. And the last one are the 4 A's of Alzheimer's disease. Ano yung unang A? We have amnesia. Maybe a lot of you will tell me, if I ask you, what is amnesia? We would answer me, memory loss or loss of memory. But I don't want you to define amnesia as memory loss because although it may be true, but that is a layman's term. Since you will all be professionals, that's why I want you to define it the more professional way. Paano, ma'am? Ganito. Para mukhang matalino. Amnesia is the inability to recall the past. Correct? Yes, of course. You cannot recall your future. Di ba? Ang cute. Dalawang klase po ang amnesia actually. Retrograde or anterograde. When you say retrograde, that is the inability to recall the remote past, even your childhood days. But when you say anterograde, this is the inability to recall your recent past. recent past, usually 2 weeks, last 2 weeks. That is amnesia. Another is agnosia. Agnosia is the inability to recognize. Agnosia, recognize. What is it that you cannot recognize? This is the inability to recognize familiar objects and their functions. Let's say, for example, yung toothbrush, ginawa niya suklay, yung suklay, pinamprito niya ng isda, yung microwave, pinindot-pindot niya, akala niya calculator, or naginit ng ulam, naglagay ng kutsara sa loob, pumutok, nasira. Ang magiging reaction natin is tatanungin natin sila, naku naman po, bakit niyo nalagyan ng kutsara sa loob? Dati niyo naman pong ginagawa, ayan tuloy nasira. Ang sagot ay, pasensya na, nakalimutan ko na. Agnosia. Next is aphasia. Aphasia, inability to comprehend and express. Inability to comprehend and express. Actually, dalawang klase po ang aphasia. It can be receptive aphasia. Receptive aphasia meaning they cannot comprehend or they cannot understand. You receive, hindi maintindihan, pero nakakapagsalita. But when you say expressive aphasia, they cannot talk, they cannot express, but they can understand. May matatanda na nakakapagsalita, pero minsan hindi makaintindi, kaya paulit-ulit. Or meron namang nakakaintindi, sumusunod sa mga basic instructions, simple instructions, pero hindi na masyadong nagsasalita. Next, we have apraxia. Inability to move or ambulate. Hindi na makagalaw, hindi na makakilos. Isa sa mga dahilan is habang tumatanda, nawawala at natutuyo na yung mga synovial fluids in between the joints. Kaya nahihirapan silang bumangon, akit ng hagdanan, yung ganon. And, of course, dagdagan natin ng isa pang A, anomia. What is anomia? Hindi po ito yung pinaamoy pag may hinimatay. Ammonia yon. Anomia is the inability to name names. Kaya may salitang anonymous. Kaya pag tinatawag ka niya, hindi niya alam ang pangalan mo. Kaya lahat ng pangalan sa buong mundo tinawag ka niya, yung pala, hindi pala yun ang pangalan mo. The reason why we're studying this is because we want to know how these people feel. What's going on in their minds. What comes along with the aging process. And let me remind you, ang mga matatanda po, hindi nila kailangan ng ating awa dahil mas higit po nilang kailangan ang ating pangunawa. Sino ba naman ang gustong pagtawanan tuwing nagkakamali? Sino ba naman ang gustong sigawan pag hindi na nakakarinig? Sino ang gustong pagalitan tuwing may nasisira ng gamit sa bahay? O sino ba naman ang gustong pangdirihan, iwasan, ikahiya, o kaya itaboy tuwing mabaho na? Siyempre wala. That is why nobody has the right to treat our parents, grandparents, our dear elderly, the negative way, not even us. Hindi nila kailangan ng awa dahil masigit po nilang kailangan ang ating pangunawa. Dahil kung hindi mo kayang ibigay ito sa kanila, sayang, naging nurse ka pa naman. Let's move on to the stages of Alzheimer's disease. The first stage is forgetfulness stage. It starts with short-term memory loss. They usually forget important dates, important appointments, schedules. They usually forget where they place things. They lose things. Madalas hinahanap nila yung salamin. Yung pala, nandito sa ulo nila. O yung pinaka-notorious na yan, yung pustiso. Nawawala yung pustiso doon. Ano bang paboritong lalagyan ng pustiso? Di ba, baso?
Nawawala doon sa baso ang pustiso ng lolo. Saan natagpuan? Doon sa pitchel ng iced tea na pinainom mo sa bisita mo. O diba, ang galing-galing. That's forgetfulness stage. The second is confusion stage. So what happens? Memory this time declines. Dito na rin po nangyayari yung sundown syndrome. So that's mental confusion when the sun goes down. At dito rin po nangyayari yung confabulation. Confabulation is one communication problem among these people. It is inventing stories to fill the memory gaps. Sa Tagalog, dagdag bawas. Halimbawa, bigyan mo ng isang kwento ang matanda. And then, may isang part doon na nakalimutan niya para makumpleto yung storya na yon, nag-iimbento sila. At pag nag-imbento, iba na ang buong kwento. Kaya minsan yan ang nagiging dahilan, minsan na hindi pagkakaunawaan ng mag-asawa or other members of the family dahil doon sa sumbong or kwento ng matanda. Well, I'm not saying na huwag ka maniwala sa kanya, but it's just a matter of communication. Confusion. The third stage is ambulatory stage. Ambulatory stage meaning, yes, they can ambulate, they can walk sometimes, but with assistive devices, such as cranes, crutches, walkers, wheelchairs. Dito na rin po nangyayari yung wandering na tinatawag. Yung wandering meaning, nakalabas yung bahay, naglakad, kung saan nakarating, hanggang hindi na nakabalik, because of wandering, tapos mababalitaan na lang nawawala na ang matanda. During ambulatory stage, you would also notice there will be no reasoning abilities anymore. And you would also notice very obvious personality changes. At ang number one na papansin natin sa personality nila is hygiene. Hindi na kasing linis, kasing bango, kasing postura, o kasing smarte ng dati. Minsan ayaw na magpalit ng damit, yung muta, nandyan na. Hindi sa ayaw nilang maligo. Ang dahilan, bang tumatanda kasi ang isang tao, yung mga fatty deposits, mga adipose tissues natin, nawawala. At pag nawala yun, giniginaw po sila. At yun ang dahilan. Kaya pakiusap lang po sana, huwag nyo namang buhusan ng tubig. Tandaan natin, mahina na po ang immune system nila. Baka yan po ang maging dahilan ng mapapaaga. Ambulatory stage. Actually, sa 4 na stages na to, pag may Alzheimer's disease, nadadaanan nila yung 4 na stages na to. Pero alam nyo ba, minsan, hindi sila aware na ganun sila. Or kung sakali man may awareness, nahihirapan sila. Kaya pag nahihirapan sila, sasabihin nila, kung mahihirapan din lang ako at magiging pabigat sa inyo, siguro mas mabuti pang, alam mo na. And the last stage is your end stage. Si ambulatory stage ay yung pinakamatagal, pinakamahabang panahon kung saan sila nagsistay. At ang pinakamaigsi is yung end stage. Kumbaga, and now, the end is near. Parang, this will be the last chapter of a book called life. This will be the last bus station of a bus ride called life. Parang yung notebook na hawak mo ngayon, pag nasulatan mo na yung huling page niyan, isasara mo na at itatabi mo na dahil tapos na ang mission mo sa buhay. During end stage, there will be no recognition at all. They are already immobile, bedridden. They cannot chew their food anymore. And worst, they cannot even swallow it anymore. At yan ang maaring maging dahilan bakit unti-unti nang nawawala ang lakas isang matanda. Paalala ko lang po, hindi po nila kailangan ng ating awa dahil mas higit po nilang kailangan ang ating pang-unawa. Since these people are very fragile, nursing management would be please care. Please care. Letter P, provide safety and needs. Safety is our number one concern. Make sure na yung dadaanan nila, lalo sa loob ng restroom or ng CR, sana tuyo yung sahig. Kasi baka madulas. Alam natin, falls is the number one cause of accidents among these people. Yung hagdanan, may side rails, enough or sufficient lighting. Yung ba ganun? Kasi baka pag nabalian ng buto, baka hindi na nila kayanin ang isang operasyon. And since immune system, napakahirap na nilang mag-recuperate. Provide for the physical, of course. Pag nauuhaw, painumin mo. Natural. Ikaw nga, tayo nga, gusto natin ng malamig na tubig minsan, hindi ba? Ganon din sila. Pag nagugutom, pakainin mo. Bigyan mo ng kanin, bigyan mo ng meal. At pakiusap lang po, sana, pag binigyan natin ng kanin, lagyan natin ng konting sabaw. Kasi natutuyo, hirap na silang lumuno. Pag giniginaw, kumutan mo. Pag naiinitan, bigyan mo ng hangin. Pag may iniindang sakit, try to alleviate the pain. Wag yung, ang arte-arte naman, para yan lang. Kung bakit naman minsan kasi, kung kailan ka paalis, saka magpapabipi, di ba? Pero ito lang, if you cannot help them, at least do not hurt them with your words. Napakasakit para sa kanila yan. Letter L, listen. Listen to their nonverbal cues. Be sensitive. Look at their facial expression. Look at their gestures. Nararamdaman nila yung nararamdaman natin. After all, tao pa rin sila. Be sensitive. E, encourage rest and sleep. We all know na konti na lang energy ang natitira. So try to reserve that remaining energy by doing something which is more important, like visiting the doctor, going up and down the stairs, taking a bath, dressing up. Yun ang mahalaga. Konti na lang. Yung mga hindi na mahalagang lakad, pwede siguro iwan na natin kasi minsan sila na mismo ang magsasabi, ayoko na. Letter A, assist in ADL. You already know this. Ito yung mga bagay na ginagawa nila sa atin nung hindi pa natin ito kayang gawin. Tayo naman ngayon ang gagawa ng mga bagay na hindi na nila kayang gawin para sa sarili nila. Paggupit ng kuko, pagpulbos, pagpunas, pagsuklay, pagsubo ng pagkain, paglagay ng diaper, pagpalit ng damit, everything. Everything. S, yes, sing and dance. Music is a form of therapy. Effective ito para sa matatanda. You can sing with them. You can dance with them. Kung kaya. Letter E, engage in reminisce activities. You know, reminisce is a form of therapy, and this is very ideal for people with this age bracket. Reminisce therapy meaning you try to recall the past. Reminisce therapy. At alam naman natin, pag medyo may edad na, lolo't lola natin, gustong-gusto nilang pinag-usapan yung mga sinaunang panahon. Yung panahon ng Hapon, panahon ni Yamashita, panahon ng mga dinosaur. Reminisce therapy, ask them about their past. You will see the glow in their eyes, and because they will tell themselves, ay, mahalaga pa pala ako because somebody wants to listen pa pala sa mga storyang paulit-ulit. Isa pinakamagandang example ng reminiscence therapy, yung look at your own old photo albums. Nakakatuwa. Nakakatuwa. Letter C, call person by their names to show respect and to promote sense of identity. Lola Maria, kain na po. Wag naman yung generic na tawag. Hoy, mga Thundercats dyan, kakain na. Wag naman ganun. Mention their names. Letter A, actively involved in decision making. You have to let them know if change is about to happen before it happens. That's an example. Huwag mong babaguhin yung mga bagay na nakasanayan nila. Mahirap. Lalo na yung mga gamit nila, huwag mong pakikialaman, huwag nating itatapon, kasi maaaring itong bagay na to, basura para sa atin, walang silbi para sa atin, pero kayamanan yan sa kanila. Hindi naman masama kung itanong o magtanong. Involve natin sila sa decision making so that they will feel that they are also part of this family. They are still part of this family. Kasi pag may binago ka dyan, nako, tandaan mo, maaaring nagtagumpay ka, pero hanggat buhay yan, yan at yan ang pag-aawayan yung dalawa. At pag nangyari yan, mamagalit sa'yo, anong gagawin mo? Letter R, redirect. Redirect inappropriate behavior such as anger. Ito, tatandaan nyo ha. Ito lang. Lagi ko sinasabi, if you cannot beat them, join them. Ano ibig sabihin nun? Pag galit sila, huwag mong sasabayan. Huwag mong sasabayan. Simple lang ang technique. Alam nyo, ang tao, kahit anong tapang, galit, tigas, angas, bato, lahat ng tao may soft spot. Hanapin mo yung weakness niyan. And I'm telling you, pag nahanap mo yung weakness niyan, lahat ng sasabihin mo, susunod yan sa'yo kasi nagtitiwala sila sa'yo. And lastly, letter E, exaggerate. Exaggerate facial expression and gestures, especially when communicating with these people. Open your mouth. Open your mouth. Now, when talking to these people, you have to talk to them face to face. Eye level. Maximize light, minimize noise. Avoid talking side by side. And when talking to these people as much as possible, avoid chewing or putting something in your mouth kasi minsan kahit hindi sila makarinig, marunong silang mag-lip read. Now, when giving instructions, make sure that you have to repeat the statement exactly as necessary to avoid confusion. Repeat as necessary. But there is always an exemption to the rule. If you are asking a question at hindi nila masagot yung tanong na yan, dalawa lang ang dahilan. Una, hindi nila alam ang sagot. Pangalawa, hindi nila naintindihan ang tanong. So anong gagawin mo? This will be the exemption to the rule. Pag nagtanong tayo at hindi nila naintindihan yung reason kaya hindi nila makasagot is hindi nila maintindihan yung tanong, and that's the only time that we are allowed to rephrase. Rephrase. Do you understand? But especially when giving instructions to these people, remember KISS? Keep it short and simple. Do not complicate things. Do you understand? And that is Alzheimer's disease. Let's move on to anxiety disorders. But before we proceed to those anxiety disorders, let us define what is anxiety. Actually, the term anxiety has no specific or definite definition. Because anxiety is the fear of the unknown. If it's unknown, then how can you define it? But we can describe it. Have you ever experienced while sitting there and doing nothing and then suddenly you feel jittery? O bigla ka na lang nervyos, kinabahan, di mapakali? No apparent reason? That's anxiety. That is why anxiety is described as the feelings of apprehension, tension, worriedness, uneasiness, or uncertainty in response to an unknown object or situation. Therefore, anxiety is the fear of the unknown. Anxiety is different from fear, but again, these two words are again used interchangeably. But magkaiba po talaga sila ng meaning. Fear is our body's physiologic response to a perceived danger. Once na nag-react na ang katawan mo, that is fear. Kinabahan ka, bumilis ang tibok ng puso mo, nag-dilate ang pupils, nag-dry ang mouth, nang lamig, namutla, naihi. That is fear because nag-react na ang katawan mo. So therefore, when you say anxiety, it is internal. But when you say fear, it becomes external because you already expressed it. So that's the normal anxiety. Meron tayong sinasabing anxiety disorder. Now, you know, anxiety, just like stress, it is a part of our life. It's everyday present. From the moment we wake up until we retire, from the moment we were born until we die, lahat tayo nakaka-experience niyan. Nawawala lang yan pag tayo itulog o talagang namatay na. Pero bakit, kung ang anxiety ay parte ng buhay natin, kailan ito nagiging disorder? If, and only if, it already interferes with our daily lives. So these are your anxiety disorders. Number one is we have panic disorder. Alright, lahat ng tao pwedeng mag-panic. Hello? Pero ang isang taong normal na tao, bago mag-panic, dadaan yan sa mild, moderate, severe, bago nag-panic. Pero ang taong may panic disorder, biglang inatake ng panic, and one panic attack usually occur out of the blue. It's unpredictable. Even you yourself, na alam mong may sakit ka na ganito, hindi mo alam kung kailan ka aatakihin ulit. Kaya hindi ka nawawalan ng anxiety. And one panic attack usually lasts between 1 minute to 1 hour only. And that's written in the book of Rebecca Shives and Ann Isaacs. Hanggang sobrang tagal na nung isang oras. Hindi tayo pwedeng magkaroon ng panic attack ng 24 hours, mamamatay tayo. Kasi pag sinabi natin panic, it is usually accompanied by hyperventilation or shortness of breath, difficulty in breathing, anything that has something to do with breathing, especially hyperventilation. That is panic attack. Now, during panic attack, a person may or may not experience agoraphobia. So what is agoraphobia? It is the fear of being alone in a public place. Because a person with agoraphobia thinks that there is an impending doom and escape is impossible to happen, especially if that person is alone in a public place. While you're driving, crossing the street, inside the mall, church, market, anywhere, pwede kang atakihin ito. Next is phobic disorder. Phobia is the most common type of anxiety disorder. What is phobia? Phobia is the irrational fear of an object. You know, a person with phobic disorder may have had an unpleasant childhood experience, and they usually displace it in the form of phobia. Now, maraming klaseng phobia. Actually, tatlo. Una, we have agoraphobia. So, you already know what is agoraphobia. Another is social phobia. Social phobia is the compelling desire to avoid situations. And why are they avoiding situations? Because that situation may lead to embarrassment, criticism, or even humiliation. Naranasan na nila ito ulit, ayaw na nilang mangyari ito again. And the most common example of social phobia is the fear of public speaking or stage fright, or speaking in front of a lot of people, or it can be the use of public transportation or even a public restroom. Anything that has something to do with the public. That is social phobia. And the last one is your specific phobia. You know, the term phobia is so general, so broad, na maraming klase pwedeng katakutan. Pero pag sinabi natin specific phobia, alam mo in particular kung ano yung specific na kinatatakutan mo. That can be a specific animal. Arachnophobia is the fear of spiders. Serpentophobia is the fear of snakes. Yung mga ganon. Specific animal. Next, we have
natural environment. Anything that has something to do with the nature. Like, takot sa ambon, ulan, bagyo, baha, lindol, tsunami, pagputok ng bulkan, or pwedeng malaking puno, bangin, kuweba, iskinita, anything that has something to do with nature. Next, we have blood injection injuries. Okay. Blood injection injuries. May mga tao na ayaw na nakikita na may lumalabas na dugo pag nasugatan sila. Hinihimatay. Or yung iba, kahit anong klaseng dugo, ayaw. Or yung iba, takot sa injection. Actually, hindi naman yung injection yung process na kinatatakutan nila eh. Yung ringgilya, hindi. Yung needle, hindi. Ano? Yung pain. Kasi yung needle, sa bagay, it is associated with the pain. Okay? So that's blood injection injuries. Another is situational. There are millions of situational in the world. But there is this one specific situation na kinatatakutan mo na nangyari na ito sa iyo noon, ayaw mo mangyari ulit. Halimbawa, specific situation, ayaw mo ng bumababa sa hagdanan, tapos may masasalubong kang mama na may bigote at nakasalamin. Or, ayaw mo na nakaupo sa bus, nakatabi mo yung may bigote. Or ayaw mo yung makakarinig ka ng sa kabilang room na may sumisigaw at kumakalampag. That is situation, a may specific situation. And the last one, yung others. Ano ba itong mga others nito? It can be a specific sound. Kulog, kidlat, burp, sneeze, utot, pagputok ng balloon, pagbasag ng glass, pagbagsak ng pintuan, any sound, kahit yung maliit na. Next is space meaning yung acrophobia is the fear of heights, claustrophobia is the fear of closed spaces, etc., etc. And the last one, ito yung costume characters. Ayan, Diyos ko. Karamihan dito yung mga clowns, mascot, lalo na pag malapit na ang undas o yung Halloween, may mga costumes, yun, kinatatakutan nila. And that is your phobic disorder. Next, we have, can I erase na muna? Third, we have OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. You already know this. May mga ritual yan. Obsessions are persistent thoughts. Compulsions are insistent urge. So, ibig sabihin, iniisip nila na ganito, kaya kailangan gawin nila. Otherwise, napakataas ng anxiety level. Ibig sabihin noon, ganito. Bakit kailangan gawin yung ritual or yung action? Kasi it's their compensatory mechanism. Para bumaba yung anxiety nila, kailangan gagawin nila yung rituals na yan. Ngayon, pag hindi, tataas. Remember, the more you try to stop the rituals, the higher the level of anxiety would be. Remember this, during assessment phase or initial phases, accept the rituals. But if you are already on the treatment phase, you do not accept. You set limits on the rituals. Do you understand? Now, common obsessive thoughts include the need for cleanliness or prevention of contamination. That is why frequent hand washing is the most common, or using a sanitizer or alcohol. The need for exactness or symmetry. Kailangan pantay-pantay, walang gusot, maayos, perfecto. Yun yung mga common. Pero pang isa, yung mga, although minsan hindi natin napapansin, pero milder form ng OCD na ito, may kilala ka na sobrang bagal kumilos. Ay, nako, OC yan. Kasi iniisip nila, pag binilisan nila ang kilos nila, baka hindi maging maayos ang trabaho nila, uulitin nila yan. Minsan naman yung repetition, yung paulit-ulit, sasabihan ka ngayon, mamaya sasabihan ka na naman, paulit-ulit, kasi iniisip niya, pag hindi ka niya ni-remind ulit, baka makalimutan mo.
And lastly, yung hoarding. Hoarding. Hoarding is a disorder. Yung kinukolekt mo yung mga wala ng kwentang bagay. Ano ba yung madalas? Yung dahon, iniipon, yung mga tissue, yung mga ticket sa bus, yung bote ng yung mga lata, okay lang kung ipunin mo yung lata and then recycling, okay lang yun. Pero kung iipunin mo yung mga walang kakwenta-kwentang bagay na patapon na at hindi mo siya gagamitin, clutter ang tawag doon. That's hoarding. Alright? So that is OCD. Another is your generalized anxiety disorder or GAD. Generalized anxiety disorder. You have this if you have excessive and unrealistic worrying. Nakita niyo yung salitang worrying, God yun. Paano ibig sabihin nun? Yung bang lahat ng bagay pinoproblema mo, pati hindi mo dapat problemahin o problema ng iba, pinoproblema mo. That is generalized anxiety disorder. At para masabi natin na mayroon kang GAD or generalized anxiety disorder, you must have at least 3 of the following symptoms. Una, restlessness, irritability, fatigue, muscle tension, impaired concentration, and sleep disturbances. At least 3 of the symptoms sa loob ng 6 na buwan o mahigit pa, sabayan mo ng sobrang OA na pag-aalala. Congratulations! Welcome to generalized anxiety disorder. Next, we have PTSD. Alam niyo yan. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. Common antecedents of PTSD is trauma. Kaya nga post-traumatic. Related to war, violence, rape, genocide, even calamities, even accidents. Anything that has something to do with a very strong emotion that cause trauma in your life that may lead to PTSD. Now, in PTSD, the symptoms usually occur months after the traumatic event or months after stress has been abated. That's why it's called post-trauma. Alright? Ano ba yung mga halimbawa ng PTSD? Example, as signs ng PTSD symptoms. Una, flashbacks. There will be intrusive recollection of thoughts. Next, nightmares. And did you know that kahit natutulog sila, nagpa-flashback yan? In the form of nightmare. So that they will wake up in the middle of the night totally terrified. Kahit natutulog yan, naalala nila kaya sumisigaw. Pagkagising. Kaya minsan, ayaw nilang matulog, may insomnia sila. They also have acting out. Acting out, they are reliving the event. Ginagawa nila yung eksakto, ginagawa nila o nararamdaman nila yung eksaktong naramdaman at ginawa nila noon, traumatic event, habang nagpa-flashback sila ngayon. Next, avoidance. Iniiwasan nila yung mga bagay na may kinalaman sa traumatic event. O that would remind them para maiwasan si flashback. So, avoidance. Also have labile mood or rapid shifting of moods. Restricted ang kanilang affect. Exaggerated startle response. Kaya wag silang gugulatin dahil pag nagulat siyang mga yan, pak, flashback. Pag nag-flashback yan, pak, acting out. At pag nag-acting out, takbo, hindi man natin malaman, baka kung anong mangyari, biglang tumakbo ka sa kalsada, kaya ang priority natin pag ang tao ay may PTSD is safety. And the last one, meron pa pala, hypervigilance. Hypervigilance. Kaya pag nakita mo yung word na hypervigilance, PTSD. Pag nakita mo yung salitang hyperventilation, that's panic. And the last one is ASD, or acute stress disorder. Acute stress disorder. Actually, yung PTSD at saka yung ASD, halos pareho. Halos pareho ng symptoms. Saan nagkakaiba? Sa duration ng episode at saka occurrence ng symptoms. Because in PTSD, the symptoms usually occur months after the traumatic event. And in ASD, it means acute, the symptoms usually occur during or immediately after the traumatic event. And in acute stress disorder, the symptoms usually last between 2 days only and can either be resolved within 1 month. So dapat, pag tungtong ng isang buwan, okay na siya. Kasi pag ang symptoms niyan ay naglast for more than a month, well, that's not ASD anymore. It becomes post-traumatic stress disorder. Do you understand? Yes. Let's move on now. Well, these are yung usual anxiety disorders. Pero alam niyo ba, meron pag tayong tinatawag na anxiety-related disorder. Anxiety-related disorder. Anong ibig sabihin nito? Yung mga tao pag na-anxious o na-stress, may lumalabas na panibagong sakit. And pinakamagandang example nito yung somatoform disorders. Soma refers to the body, right? Somatoform disorder is the presence of various physical complaints. Various physical complaints which require medical attention without organic basis. Ito yung mga taong daming reklamo sa katawan. Pag pina-check up mo, wala namang pinanggagalingan yung sakit. Sabi nila, it's all in the mind. Usually, ang mga tao may somatoform disorder, hindi sila ganun ka-expressive kung ano yung nasa isip at nararamdaman nila. At usually, nako-convert yung naisip at nararamdaman nila in the form of illness or sickness physically. Okay. 5 ang examples ng somatoform disorders. Number 1, we have somatization disorder. Somatization disorder is also known as Briquet's syndrome. Briquet's syndrome. Usual onset ng mga taong may somatization disorder is before 30 years old. Ngayon, para masabi natin ang isang tao ay may somatization disorder, aside from pain, remember, marami silang reklamo sa iba't ibang parte ng katawan. And these bodily complaints must involve 4 body functions. 4 body functions. At ano yung 4 na bodily functions? 2 GI, 2 gastrointestinal complaints. Pwedeng nausea, vomiting, constipation, diarrhea, indigestion, dyspepsia, hyperacidity, heartburn, flatulence, colic, butterflies, name it. 2 lang. 2 doon. Or pwedeng, tsaka isang sexual. Amenorrhea, dysmenorrhea, polymenorrhea, decreased testosterone, decreased libido, impotency, sexual dysfunction, delayed or retrograde ejaculation, yun. Erectile dysfunction, orgasmic dysfunction, pwedeng vaginismus, or pwedeng dyspareunia or painful sexual intercourse. Pwede rin, at saka isang neurological. Pag sinabing neurological, kadalasan yan, it can be numbness, paralysis, or tingling sensation. So, para masabi natin na may somatization disorder, 4 na bodily complaints daw ang involvement. Ano yon? 2 GI, isang sexual, at isang neurological. Halimbawa, nagreklamo ako sa'yo na parang namamanhid-manhid yung kamay ko. Tapos, bigla akong amenorrhea. Tapos nagsusuka-suka ako. Would you consider that as somatization disorder? Not yet. Kasi 3 pa lang. Dapat ilan daw? 4. Ang tanong, ma'am, habang tumatagal ba pwedeng dumami? Of course. It's your choice. Alright? Next, we have conversion disorder. Conversion disorder, ano yung conversion, that's a normal or usual defense mechanism. Conversion as a defense mechanism meaning,
you are transferring of your emotions or feelings into physical symptoms. Example ng conversion disorder as a defense mechanism, sobrang traffic. Dito sa Pilipinas, sobrang traffic. Inabot ka ng ilang oras sa kalsada. Pag uwi mo sa bahay, sumakit ang ulo mo. That's na-convert siya. Diba? O isa pa magandang example. May kausap kang foreigner. English, di ba? Dumugo ang ilong mo. That's conversion disorder. Or, nalaman ng parents ng girl na nabuntis siya, sumikip yung dibdib. That's conversion disorder. Yung iba naman, nahuli na nagsisinungaling, nilagnat yung bata. That's conversion disorder. Ay, conversion defense mechanism. Alright? So, conversion disorder, pagkatapos mo na-convert, pwedeng bumalik agad sa normal after a while. Pero bakit nagiging disorder? Aba, ito magal-tagal na, naglagi na ang sakit doon. And remember, conversion disorder is the only disorder in the world characterized by label indifference. Indifference. Yan. You have label indifference if you show little or no concern about the illness. You show little or no concern, meaning wala kang alam o wala kang pakialam sa sakit mo. That's why a lot of people pretend that they are not sick. That is label indifference. Ah, wala yan. Ay, wala yan. Mga ganun. Wait, yung iba nga, sumusuka na ng dugo. Tapos sasabihin, hindi, nakagat ko lang yung labi ko. Tapos nakalobo na yung ito, laki-laki na ng ulo. Hindi, nauntog lang kanina. Or pwedeng, di na maigala, nakaganyan na sila. Nakaganyan. Tapos naglalakad na ganun. Uy, na-stroke ka. Hindi, nangawit lang kanina. Yan, nadaganan ko ng pagtulog ko. That's label indifference. Ha? Now, label indifference, kabaliktaran po yan, si malinggiring. Nako, maraming ganito. You are a malinggiring because you are feigning your symptoms. Other term for this is factitious disorder. Now, malingering is pretending that you are sick. Pretending that you are sick. And why are you pretending that you are sick? Because of your external motives. Ano yung, bakit ka nagpapanggap na may sakit ka? Una, you just want to be excused. You want to be excused from what? From a household chore, a responsibility, or even a criminal liability. And you just want to gain extra compensation and privileges. That is malingering. Minsan, naalala nyo nung college tayo, diba? Sabing ganon, hindi ka pwedeng tatanggapin sa College of Nursing pag umabsent ka, tas wala kang excuse letter. Kaya lagi sinasabi, mga girls, please excuse me for being absent because of dysmenorrhea. Mga ganyan. Ang gagaling, ano? That's malingering. Alam niyo ba, meron pang isang term, yung Munchausen syndrome. Munchausen syndrome. You have Munchausen syndrome if you are inflicting illness to yourself. Hindi ka nagdadala ng sakit. Ay, hindi ka nagpapanggap na may sakit. Nagdadala ka ng sakit. Alright, let us continue. The third somatoform disorder is pain disorder. Pain. Sorry. Sorry about that. Okay, the third somatoform disorder is pain disorder. So from the term itself, wala siyang ibang reklamo, puro pain. Pain, palipat-lipat na pain. Hindi GI, hindi sexual, hindi neurological. Puro pain. Pain will always be there. The assurance will not comfort the client, will not stop the client from complaining. That is why yung analgesics, paracetamols, pain relievers, it doesn't work. That's why we usually give them placebo. At kadalasan sa mga pain disorders, they are actually feeling it. Kaya ang resulta, laging uma-absent sa trabaho, laging uma-absent sa schools, lagi. Hindi sumusunod sa mga usapan because my pain. That's it, pain. At hindi nawawala ang pain. Next, we have body dysmorphic disorder, or BDD. You have body dysmorphic disorder if you have excessive concern about your body defect or your body appearance. Iniisip mo may masagwa sa'yo. So ano ba yung mga symptoms ng may BDD? Una, compulsive mirror checking. Or, alternatively, a person with BDD cannot look at their own images sa harap ng salamin. Hindi sila nananalamin. They also have excessive grooming behaviors. Suklay ng suklay, retouch ng retouch, lipstick ng lipstick, kali-lipstick lang, lipstick na naman. Hanggang dito na ang lipstick, pulbos ng pulbos, mukha ka ng espasol, kapupulbos, or lotion ng lotion, kutkut ng kuko, shave ng shave, or bunot ng kilay. Tigilan mo ang kilay mo. I know kilay is life, pero tantanan mo yan. Pag wala na natira dyan, 3 na lang, naputol pa yung isa. Nako, girl. So that's body dysmorphic disorder. And the last one is hypochondriasis. You have hypochondriasis if you are preoccupied of having a serious illness. You're not pretending that you are not sick. You're not pretending that you are sick. Or you're not even pretending that you are not sick. And you're not inflicting illness to yourself. But iniisip mo na may matindi kang sakit. You know, a person with hypochondriasis may have had an unpleasant childhood experience. And they usually displace it in the form of ito. That even at the slightest complaint, even sa pinakamaliit lang na reklamo, iniisip nila may matindi silang sakit. That's why they usually abuse medical services, leading to doctor shopping or hospital hopping. Example, nabagsakan ng isang rolyo ng tissue sa ulo. Nagpa-MRI. Nagpa-CT scan or PET scan. That is konting reklamo lang iniisip niya, may matindi siyang sakit. And these are your somatoform disorders. I hope you learned so many things today. Kahit maliit na panahon lang, sana po may natutunan tayo at sana po ay may naitulong kami na madagdagan ang inyong kaalaman at lahat po ng natutunan nyo today, sana po ay magamit nyo sa araw ng iyong board exam. So ngayon pa lang, in behalf of Sir Carl, the staff management of CBRC, nurses from Hong Kong, congratulations in advance and welcome to the world of professional nursing. God bless you all. Maraming salamat po. This has been Andeline Noblehizo speaking from Carl Balita Review Center, main office. Thank you.